The main interface of our resin dispensers is a panel that provides access to essential functions, including selecting a recipe through a dedicated drop-down menu, viewing the parameters currently loaded in the recipe, reviewing the measurements necessary for executing the selected recipe dispense, and the amount already dosed. On the right side, the machine statuses are displayed, including the current levels of product in the tanks or containers, the last dispensing performed, the temperatures in each heated zone. In the lower right corner of the interface, automatic purging can be enabled or disabled, and the settings menu can be accessed. From the main interface, the command menu can be accessed by pressing the gear icon in the lower right. In this section, users can select the system language, enable or disable certain components, such as the resin or hardener gear pump and the dispensing valve, useful during machine startup or for maintenance. The main menu also provides access to submenus for parameters, recipes, user settings, and alarm logs. In the parameters menu, there are additional submenus dedicated to various aspects, including the system, tanks, heaters, volumetric pumps, and Industry 4.0. Certain settings within the system parameters are reserved for DAV tech technicians, while others are accessible to the end user, such as minimum level stop. If disabled, allows the resin dispenser to operate even when tank levels are below the minimum set level. Recipe selection through digital inputs allows external systems to select recipes for production. Mixer on-off time refers to the activation and deactivation times of the mixer in the resin tank or container. On the right side, PLC time settings are available for alarm logging. In the tanks submenu, it's possible to set the minimum resin and hardener levels, staying above the preset machine levels, but allowing them to be increased. Other settings are for DAV tech technicians. In the heaters submenu, users can adjust the temperatures in the various heated zones and schedule heater activation by setting start and end times and the days of operation. To activate this function, the machine must remain on at all times, even in emergency mode. The system will activate the heaters according to the set times and days. In the pumps submenu, the parameters for volumetric pumps and the resin-to-hardener ratio can be adjusted. The end user can modify the resin-to-hardener ratio in case of resin change, or the maximum output pressures of resin and hardener. It is also possible to define the quantity and frequency of the automatic purging, activated through the clock icon on the main page. If the automatic purging mode is set to parking, the purging can be initiated either by pressing the activation button or by a digital signal from a sensor confirming the dispenser is in the correct position for purging. If the purging mode is set to always on, purging can only be activated by pressing the button. Another setting in this section is dosage pause. If set to on, the dispensing can be paused and resumed with memory of the quantity already dispensed. If set to off, dispensing continues uninterrupted. In the Industry 4.0 submenu, parameters are available for the communication of the resin dispenser with other systems. From the main menu, users can access the Recipes menu, where it's possible to create a new recipe, assign an ID to the recipe, define the dispensing quantity and flow rate. To create a recipe, simply press New Recipe, enter a description, assign a unique number, and set a dosage quantity. If set to 0, continuous dispense is allowed at the operator's discretion, useful when the dispense amount for a component is unknown, as it can be determined empirically by observing the fill level. At that point, the amount just dispensed can be read from the main menu and used to create a recipe. Next, define the flow rate. Once the parameters are set, press Save to make the recipe selectable from the main menu. If recipe selection occurs through digital inputs, it won't be possible to select it manually from the drop-down menu. The recipe panel also allows users to delete, import, or export recipes. From the main menu, the Log Alarms submenu can be accessed, providing access to all alarm statuses detected by the resin dispenser, along with the time and alarm description. There are options to export or delete alarms using the corresponding icons.